Most welcome to the second game in our series about black exchange sacrifices on Charlie 3 in the Sicilian. And me who's speaking is FIDE Master Jörgen Magnusson, 4 times junior world champion for visually impaired, rated number 1 in the world for seniors for visually impaired in 1993. And if you have a need to read the moves and would also be helped by reading the timestamps when in the video I discuss a certain position, please open the descriptions to this video and you will find it all there. And if you like what I'm doing and think that it would be a good idea that more people could enjoy those videos, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and please share this video. So now we are heading to the start of the game. Let's see, mark, I put a timestamp. Yeah, and we are now going to analyze a game that had quite a big impact on me when I was maybe, it was played in 1980. I was then 13 years old. It was the European Team Championship organized in Skara in Sweden that year. And I don't think I studied that game just when the tournament took place, but a few years later when I started to study the neither variation again in the Sicilian defense. So, white is a strong grandmaster, Ermenkov, and black is Lajos Portisch. Let's see, I will check the name of the white player also. Yeah, Evgenij Ermenkov on 24.95, and black is Lajos Portisch 26.55. In this year, 1980, 26.55 meant far more than it does this time. Then you were in the absolute elite. And 24.95 was even more respectable then than it is right now. White kicks off with Echo4. Echo4 as white. And black plays pawn to Charlie 5. Pawn to Charlie 5. No surprise, as we are discussing the Sicilian defense. White continues knight foxtrot 3, knight to foxtrot 3, controlling the black squares in the center. Black plays delta 6, pawn to delta 6, also fighting about the control of the black squares in the center. White plays the so-called open Sicilian by pawn to delta 4. Pawn to delta 4. And black takes, Charlie takes delta 4. Charlie takes delta 4. And white plays knight takes delta 4. Knight takes delta 4. And here we see that black has a slight advantage in the center thanks to the echo and delta pawns, whereas white only has the echo 4 pawn. But at the same time, white has a splendid knight on delta 4 and more space. So often in these positions, white aims for quite quick kingside attack. That is not always the case, but quite frequently. Using the space advantage and the aggressive placement of the white knight on delta 4. Black goes on with knight to foxtrot 6, knight to foxtrot 6. White defends the now threatened echo 4 pawn by playing knight to Charlie 3, knight to Charlie 3. And here, as I mentioned in the previous video, black has a lot of options, but black went for the probably best defense, but the best variation for black, the so-called knight of variation by pawn to alpha 6. Pawn to alpha 6. Getting control over the bravo 5 square, which means that you can advance your bravo pawn in the future. And if you can move the bravo pawn even up to bravo 4, then you would attack the knight on Charlie 3 that is protecting the very important pawn on Echo 4. In the previous game, white went for the classical variation, bishop Echo 2, but here bishop to Charlie 4 is played. Bishop to Charlie 4. Bishop to Charlie 4 is a very interesting and very natural move. Not considered one of the very best moves by white actually, but still very respectable. And white can play this in many different ways, but the way we see in the following game, in this game, is a way of playing inspired, for example, by Robert James Fisher, who played many fantastic lines as white in this game, and we will later on go on to discuss the different options in this position. Black has basically two options here, I would say. Black can develop the knight on bravo 8 to delta 7 early, and move it quickly to Charlie 5, attacking the pawn on Echo 4, and then push bravo 5 quickly, often trying to move to chase the white bishop from Charlie 4 to bravo 3, where the knight from Charlie 5 can capture it, thus giving black the advantage of the two bishops. This is one line to play. I myself, and I think most players, have adopted the setup that Portisch also now employs by playing pawn to Echo 6. Pawn to Echo 6. This bluntens the scope of the white bishop on Charlie 4, so it's a very natural move. White continues by pawn to alpha 3. Pawn to alpha 3. This is a somewhat slow move, I can say. Black foresees that he has to retreat the bishop from Charlie 4 because he expects that black soon play pawn to bravo 5. And rather than putting the bishop on bravo 3, where it can more easily be exchanged if black develops the knight from bravo 8 via delta 7 to Charlie 5, he chooses to put the bishop on alpha 2 in order to keep the bishop on the diagonal alpha 2 to golf 8, and in the long run put pressure on black's white square, especially the Echo 6 pawn. And that is what we will see. On the other hand, it takes one more step for white. He plays another pawn move, and yeah, it is still an okay variation to play, even if you analyze it with the modern chess engines, but it is a little slow. Black plays bishop to Echo 7. Bishop to Echo 7. Rapid development. And white plays bishop alpha 2. Bishop alpha 2. Foreseeing the black pawn to bravo 5. black continues castling kingside, king's castling kingside, and white now launches Foxtrot 4, launching an attack in the center and on the king side. And even Fischer played many games with similar setups, playing Foxtrot 5, so both the bishop, the white slide square bishop on alpha 2, the knight on delta 4, and the pawn when it comes to Foxtrot 5, all attacking the pawn on echo 6. So white wants to force this pawn to go to echo 5, thereby weakening the light squares in the black center. Even so, we will see this strategy be employed in this game. Black plays pawn to bravo 5, pawn to bravo 5, and white goes on by pawn to Foxtrot 5, pawn to Foxtrot 5. White's position is actually already a bit inferior according to Stockfish. I think that attacking like this, still with the king in the center, is a very risky way for white to play. And nowadays I wouldn't expect a strong grandmaster as white is employing this strategy. It's simply too slow, and the black counter resources for the counter attack, they are very, very good. So it's already black that is maybe half a pawn to the better. Black pushes pawn to echo 5, pawn to echo 5, attacking the white knight on delta 4 that retreats to echo 2, knight delta to echo 2. One might think that this is a little bit passive. Why not put the knight on Foxtrot 3 instead? But the answer is that white wants to continue to golf free with the knight and let it take part in a planned kingside attack. Black puts pressure, bishop to bravo 7, now threatening echo 4. And one can say that white has played some aggressive moves, but now has started to retreat with the pieces and start to make moves to protect. So thus the development of the remaining pieces will be delayed. So black has actually, from the move pawn to echo 5 on move and onwards, now black will have the initiative, and that is one of the signals that make me suspect that white's strategy is a bit dubious. White plays knight to golf 3, knight to golf 3. So now white protects the echo 4 pawn with both knights. So that seems okay, but still we are on move 12 and white has only developed 3 minor pieces. The king is still in the center, and there is an acute risk that the center soon will open. And as black is better developed, the king is safer, that must be in black's favor. Black develops knight bravo delta 7, knight bravo delta 7. And you can see that among other things, the knight can later on jump to Charlie 5, but primarily this is a move that opens the way to Charlie 8 for the rook on alpha 8. White continues with bishop golf 5, bishop to golf 5, and you might wonder why it is a part of White's strategy to get control over Echo 4 and Delta 5. White hopes that he can exchange the black pieces that defend Delta 5 square. For example, playing bishop takes Foxtrot 6, and then hopefully even exchange pieces on Delta 5, so that the only remaining minor pieces would be the white knight on Golf 3 and the black bishop on Echo 7. If that would be the case, then White wants to maneuver the knight from Golf 3 to Delta 5. That can be that the knight jumps back to Foxtrot 1, up to Echo 3, and then plonk on Delta 5. And from there, it can't be kicked away. If White manages with this, then White would have a strategically won position. And we will discuss this theme in later lectures also. But it goes without saying, so okay, Magnusson, if it does, why do you say it? I say it anyway, that this takes a lot of time, and White will be very, very far from ever achieving this plan, the aims of these plans. So, bishop to Golf 5. Black played rook Charlie 8, rook to Charlie 8. And White finally castles. White castles. And here you, if you so wish, can pause the video and think of what would you play as black in this position. So take a little while and consider yourself being Lajos Portisch. Not a bad thing to be as chess player. He was extremely strong, very, very strong theoretician. Yeah, here we see this the same exchange sacrifice as we saw in Holestak-Magnusson. And this game was played in 1980. I saw it for the first time. Maybe in 1982 I started to study the Najdorf a little bit. I think it was about then. And when I played the game against Holestak in the year 2000, this was something that I had internalized both by practicing and training games, but also familiarize myself with this very topical sacrifice. Black played rook takes Charlie 3, exclamation mark, and black now has clear advantage. White recapture, Bravo takes Charlie 3, Bravo takes Charlie 3. This the consequence of this we have seen a little bit in the earlier video, but it is something that is different from the game Holestak-Magnusson. It is that the white king's position is more solid than it was in that game. In that game, White had already played pawn to Golf 4. Otherwise, the pawns were on Echo 4 and Foxtrot 5. But when the pawn on Golf 4, the king was even more vulnerable. Here, black will still play for a kingside attack, but it takes more time than it did in my game, because White has a somewhat more solid position, but the basic problem for White would be the same. White has expanded too much, and black can get the central control, and already getting one pawn for the exchange, and White has bad pawn structure on the queen side. The pawns, double pawns on Charlie 2 and Charlie 3. This is clear advantage for black, almost one pawn up, according to the engines. Black plays knight takes echo 4. Knight takes echo 4. Here, actually, Stockfish suggests that bishop takes echo 4 could be even somewhat stronger for black. But for a human being, I think it is a very natural thing to keep the light square bishop so that we have the two bishops as black. If one would have played bishop takes echo 4, white probably would have and then Stockfish suggests that I think white should play bishop takes foxtrot 6, white can take foxtrot 6, bishop takes foxtrot 6, white can play knight takes, no, sorry, like this. If black plays bishop takes echo 4 instead of knight takes echo 4 here, then white can take on foxtrot 6, bishop takes knight. Black has to recapture with the knight in order to protect the bishop on echo 4. White can capture on echo 4 again with the knight from ball 3. Black takes with the knight from foxtrot 6. And that would give us a position when we have uncolored bishops. White would have the bishop on alpha 2 and black the one on echo 7. In a position where it is important to play for kingside attack, black has sacrificed the material, and white has a kingside. It is often favorable to have uncolored bishops. So I think it is this that advises Stockfish to suggest this line. Black can soon play bishop to call 5, queen to bravo 6, and so on. So this is a good option, really good option. But most people would probably do as Portisch did, playing knight takes echo 4 instead. White plays knight god 3 takes echo 4. Black plays bishop takes echo 4. White plays bishop takes echo 7. Bishop takes echo 7. Black recaptures with the queen. Queen takes echo 7. And now we see that we have the same color of the bishops. And white's bishop on echo 4 is clearly the stronger one compared to the one on alpha 2. Thus, white in this position should try to exchange the bishops. Bishop to delta 5 would be the better move here for white. Black might then play knight foxtrot 6, and it would be bishop takes bishop on echo 4, knight takes bishop on echo 4. Then we have a simplified position. Black has a very strong knight on echo 4 and moves like queen to alpha 7 check is coming. The pressure on the c file, with rook to Charlie 8, sooner or later would mean that the pawn of Charlie 3 would fall, thus giving black 2 pawns for the exchange, more than enough. Then it would be easy for black to advance the pawns on delta and echo. Even the black pawn on echo 5 is already a pass pawn that can be very difficult to to control for white in an endgame. But bishop delta 5 would be the better move. I think the reason for white not exchanging it is probably that he already had understood that black would have such good control of the position after the exchange of the light square bishops that he rather would try to keep the one on alpha 2, hoping for finally achieving some kind of an attack on the king side. Which, of course, it's very difficult to advise white what to play in such very critical position. And white is critical, we will see splendidly demonstrated by Portisch. White now played pawn to Charlie 4 instead. See. Pawn to Charlie 4. It is a logical move. White has doubled Charlie pawn. Why not exchange? And already white is on the defensive, trying to save himself into a draw. And exchanging number of pawns also could mean that that goal would be easier to achieve. But the problem with pawn to Charlie 4 is that the black bishop on Echo 4 remains. And that is a fantastic power that we will see how it will be used. It is the hero of the position right now. Black plays rook Charlie 8. Rook to Charlie 8. And you can see that it is not good for white to open the Charlie 5, because Charlie 2, after Charlie takes Bravo 5, then Charlie 2 would be under heavy pressure. White played queen to Echo 2, attacking the bishop on Echo 4, also putting more pressure to Bravo 5, pawn on Charlie 4 and queen on Echo 2, both put pressure on Bravo 5. And as well, the queen protects the pawn on Charlie 4. Black was attacking it both with the rook and the pawn. Black continues, knight foxtrot 6, knight to foxtrot 6. And white played rook alpha Charlie 1. Rook alpha to Charlie 1. There are the moves that might have been stronger here, rook alpha delta 1 for example, but black is on top in all lines, and our aim is not to go into detailed analysis of each move here, but that you should recognize such patterns that can guide you in your own games, where the position might be similar but not the same as in those examples. Rook alpha to Charlie 1 protects Charlie 2, and thereby there is a threat on Bravo 5. Black nevertheless played Hotel 5, and this is... So, Hotel 5 was Black's move, and this is a very interesting move. It is not the one that is most recommended. It is one of the better ones, according to Stockfish. And as a human, it is a very good move to play, because you have the idea of gaining space on the king side. Let's say that the pawn advances from to Hotel 4 and then to Hotel 3. Then you would start to open the white king's position, especially if the king had gone to Hotel 1. You will see how black exploits the white weaknesses on the white squares. White played Charlie takes Bravo 5, Charlie takes Bravo 5, and black recaptures. Alpha takes Charlie. So now I will take it once again. White played Charlie takes Bravo 5. Charlie takes Bravo 5. And then white played Alpha takes Bravo 5. Sorry for talking about Charlie 5. Sorry for that. So they exchange pawns on Bravo 5. White continues with Queen takes Bravo 5. Queen takes Bravo 5. And yeah, white has actually regained a pawn, but that is far from relevant in this position. There are other things that matters. Black played Queen to Alpha 7 check. Queen to Alpha 7 check. And we see now that the center of the position, the hub in the position is on the white king side, and therefore to have the queen on the white queen on the queen side and the bishop on Alpha 2, that means that a lot of the white pieces don't take part in the defense of the white monarch. White played King to Hotel 1, King to Hotel 1. And black plays Pawn to Hotel 4. Put this timestamp there as well. Pawn to Hotel 4. And now we have the threat that I mentioned earlier. If black can push Pawn to Hotel 3, the pawn on Golf 2 is pinned, so black can then continue to take on Golf 2, either with the bishop or with the pawn. Both would mean disaster for white. So white tries to protect, to cover the Hotel 3 pawn, square, by playing Queen to Bravo 3. Queen to Bravo 3. Worth mentioning before, instead of playing Hotel 4, black could even have played Rook to Charlie 3, with the idea of Rook to Hotel 3 and Knight to Golf 4, with a brutal, very primitive, but still very strong attack. But this is also a fantastic way of playing, like Portisch teaches us. Black played Knight to Golf 4. Knight to Golf 4. The knight on Golf 4 comes with different threats. Knight to Foxtrot 2 check, followed by discovered checks when it moves the next time, or that white has to sacrifice the exchange on Foxtrot 2. That is one possibility. Keep in mind, though, that white has two pieces that threaten Foxtrot 7. So the queen, that is the queen on Bravo 3 and bishop on Alpha 2. So before we should go for Knight to Foxtrot 2, with the idea Rook takes Foxtrot 2, Queen takes Foxtrot 2, then we must check so nothing bad happens to us after Queen takes Foxtrot 7 check. White also can attack the black king. So rather than Knight Foxtrot 2, in this concrete position, it is rather Knight to Echo 3. That is a very annoying threat, putting even more pressure on Golf 2. White played Pawn to Hotel 3. Pawn to Hotel 3. And black played Knight to Echo 3, attacking Golf 2. And you can also see how the pressure on Charlie 2 also increases by this move. When you start to get the pieces well placed and you get the initiative and the opponent has many problems, you can see that your pieces move so naturally, seemingly without any problems, and even if you just first thought of maneuvering the knight to Echo 3, because you wanted to attack Golf 2, then it comes like just a bonus that you also attack Charlie 2. White protects Golf 1 by playing a rook Golf 2 by playing rook to Golf 1. Rook to Golf 1. But black now captures a pawn. Knight takes Foxtrot 5. Knight takes Foxtrot 5. So black now has 5 pawns against white's 3. Black has only 1 pawn island from delta all the way up to hotel file, whereas white has 1 pawn island on hotel and golf, and 1 isolated pawn on Charlie, and another isolated pawn on alpha. Clearly worse pawn structure. And we can see here that black's pawn on hotel 4 also makes it possible for black to place a knight on golf 3, the knight that is safely protected. We also have the possibility to jump with the knight to delta 4, or yeah, why not returning to echo 3 if that would be a decent option. White plays king to hotel 2. King to hotel 2, trying to get out of the pin from echo 4. So it is a natural and good strategy to put the king on the opposite side of opposite color to the black-white squared bishop. Black advances pawn to delta 5. Pawn to delta 5. And that has not only the advantage of protecting and stabilizing the outposted bishop on echo 4, but also to cut off white's pressure down towards Foxtrot 7, which means that it will be easier for black to use all the forces in the kingside attack. But also plan playing in the future when it's a relevant moment. The pawn to delta 4 maybe continuing with rook to Charlie 3 comes into consideration. White pushed pawn to Charlie 4. Pawn to Charlie 4 from white. And white tries to do what he can, so to say. It's natural to try to exchange pawns just to open files for the rook on Charlie 1, because the white rooks are passive and black pieces, all of them, are active. So pawn to Charlie 4 is a natural thing to do. Black plays rook to Bravo 8, rook to Bravo 8, attacking the white queen, and white plays queen to Charlie 3. Queen to Charlie 3. Black continues with queen Foxtrot 2. Black plays queen to Foxtrot 2. And now you see that the bishop on alpha 2 is attacked. Moreover, the rook from Charlie 1 can't go to Charlie 2 to protect the bishop on alpha 2, because the bishop on echo 4 also covers Charlie 2. So this bishop is fantastic. It's it is well centered and hampers white's opportunities not only on the king side but on the queen side as well. White played queen takes echo 5. Queen takes echo 5. You can see that white doesn't protect the bishop on alpha 2, but it does it indirectly, so to say. It doesn't directly protect the bishop, but it does it by threatening the rook on bravo 8. If black takes on alpha 2 with the queen, white would capture on bravo 8 check. So instead of dealing with those things, black consistently regroups pieces so that they take part in the kingside attack. Rook to bravo 2. Rook to bravo 2. And now we have a threat on alpha 2 as well as increased pressure on the white kingside. White played Charlie takes delta 5. Charlie takes delta 5. And put in the timestamp. Here I would recommend you to pause the video and think of how would you finish white off if you were the super grandmaster like Lajos Portisch. Yeah, we come to a small combination, which also in a very nice way demonstrates how strong the black minor pieces are. Black sacrificed the queen on golf 2. Queen takes golf 2 check. Splendid, not very difficult, but splendid move. White has to take with the rook. The rook takes golf 2. Black also gladly took rook. Rook takes golf 2 check. Rook takes golf 2 check. And white plays king to hotel 1, king hotel 1, and black finishes off with knight to golf 3 check. Knight to golf 3. And here white has to sacrifice the queen for the knight. Queen takes golf 3. So he actually, instead of this, he resigned. Because, for example, after queen takes golf 3, black can even take with the hotel pawn. Hotel takes golf 3. And black has the very dangerous bet rook hotel 2 check, king golf 1, and rook hotel 1 checkmate, because the rook is protected by the bishop on echo 4, and the pawn on golf 3 covers foxtrot 2 and hotel 2. Besides this, the black threatens rook takes alpha 2, and other discoveries with the rook from golf 2. So white is completely outplayed in this game. So this game, like the previous one with Holestak-Magnusson, demonstrates the exchange sacrifice on Charlie 3, when black also immediately wins a pawn on echo 4. In both cases, the white king side was already weakened. We will go on to look at other themes of this, but maybe when black sacrifices under less favorable circumstances. Here we can see that the position was already won the moment when black gave up the exchange. But sometimes it is interesting to do this kind of sacrifice even when white is better placed than in these games. So thank you for now, and I hope you enjoyed this video.